Welcome to the Legacy Crusaders YouTube channel. This is Benji, and I'm here with my boy Jukebox. Say what up.
What up?
Alright, we're checking out a live game from our locals. This week, my brother went undefeated with Dino Infernoids in the tournament. This is actually pre-tournament. Jordan, my brother, is playing against Josh. He's playing Trickstars. So we got Dino Infernoids versus Trickstars.
Alright, seems like a fun matchup. Nice.
Yeah, first thing he did was roll a 1 on the die, so...
So I guess the Trickstar player is going first.
Well, he won the dice roll, because my brother rolled a 1 instantaneously, setting himself up for a really, mediocre start.
Alright, so he did the yellow Trickstar into the light stage. Nice.
It could have also been the other way around, but I think that was the case.
Yeah, from what I saw, I think he normal summoned the yellow one first.
I think his hand was so broken he felt the need to show it early, and it definitely...
Yeah, I saw it.
It definitely made Josh worry. As it should, because it does have the God card in his hand. It is a 60-card deck.
So he opened up Grass, a couple of Infernoids, and Feast, right?
He does have Feast, but he has no Void card to use it with, but he also has Fossil Dig, and Fossil Dig is essentially double Evolution Pill.
Alright. Alright, seems dope.
Josh is pulling 5 cards out of his extra deck to banish face down.
Yeah, so I guess he has a Trap Eater, or the Eater of World, or whatever.
Yeah, he has Bray Wyatt on board. Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt, yeah, of course.
Alright, he takes 400 damage for drawing a card.
Alright, sweet. Are you the one behind the camera?
I am, well, I mean, I'm sitting next to them at the table. The table might be shaking just a drop because the tripod is placed on the table. That's a normal summon of Infernoid Decatron.
Alright.
And he activates its effect. And Josh responds with Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring.
Yeah, he Grass. Nice.
And, of course, he takes the bait. Now, if he didn't Ash him, he would actually just send Deviati and protect the grass anyway, so technically he's shorted him 1 Infernoid in the graveyard. Oh, a friend
nice
arrived.
handshake over there, I like that.
It happened, somebody showed up and said hello. So he's counting his deck at the moment. He had, I think it was 34 in deck, so he's actually going to mill 20 cards exactly.
Alright.
A lot of spells in there.
I dig this.
Yeah, Snow just went to the graveyard along with Overtex. So Overtex can search a pill, and Snow, of course, is just going to put in some work with that many cards in the graveyard.
How can you handle so many cards being milled like that? That's crazy.
You played me earlier. It didn't go well for you.
Yeah, that's because you're broken.
Yeah, man.
It's not fair.
You gotta... I don't know. We don't play the meta deck. What we do is we just play a deck that can play as many broken power cards in it as possible and try and make up for the fact that our deck is not the meta deck.
Yeah.
Alright, so he wastes Josh's time by shuffling the deck just to have him cut it just so he can go back in. He's also
a lot of life points.
Yeah, he's taken 1,200 damage from drawing a card and searching twice. He searched the pill and he searched Soul Devouring Oviraptor.
So the Trickstar player has no back row. What was the purpose of summoning the Eater of Worlds there?
I think it's a defensive play. I actually didn't agree with that play.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty weird too.
Well, it is hard to get through. There aren't that many ways over Eater of Millions. You either have to Raigeki it, you have to kind of either attack into it twice, which is never a good feeling, or you have to have like a Raigeki or something. But also Fairy Tail Snow can flip it face down, and it can't trigger when it's face down, so there are a couple outs.
So what did you just do right now?
You just summoned Infernoid Atondel. There will be some graphics popping up in the final recording, so everyone can see what the cards are, because I know the glare isn't going to be perfect.
Yeah.
So he activates Double Evolution Pill, banishing an extra copy, dead copy of Eater of Millions, and Giant Rex from Graveyard to summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, triggering the effect of Giant Rex.
Oh. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Giant Rex cannot attack directly, so...
So he's going to use his Giant Rex as fodder? So he uses the effect?
He actually uses the negated Decatron, which is, I think, a misplay because it can attack directly, so that's 500 additional attack points. We're in the middle of a recording, so sorry. Alright, so those monsters have been flipped face down, and he's just going to attack over each of them with Conductor, inflicting 1,000 points for each. Once with a Tondel for 28. Summon Fairy Tale Snow, which is 1850. He would tribute it with the Atondel to banish any card from the graveyard, summon it again, and attack again.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So
Your
briefly,
just as sick as you. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, man. Got to take advantage of those things. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. I never remember to say it, so I just put it into the video.
That was pretty good play by Jordan.
Yeah, he makes good plays. He might be better than I am, but he doesn't play live enough. Alright, and we're back. Siding should be done. I am testing our new countdown clock. Try and have some legit 40-minute timer. I don't believe the game goes that long.
Do you know what he might have sided in or out?
I'm not sure. I know Josh was struggling. He didn't know what he should side of his side cards. The only thing he had that made sense to side was like Anti-Spell Fragrance, and he didn't side it in for reasons I can't tell you. And here he's making a misplay of setting Reincarnation and Evenly Matched, where he has no real reason to set Evenly Matched, because he can just shotgun the Reincarnation at any time and get it off the field, so there's no reason for him to set evenly. So he picked it back up when I told him he was being an idiot. Every once in a while you do something that you think might be a good play, but it's a bad play.
How was that a bad play again?
Yeah, under what scenario would you not be able to get your Reincarnation off the field? The only reason you put evenly on the board is that you can't clear your own field, you know?
Alright.
Otherwise it's just safer in your hand. And Jordan makes a grave error here, doing the one thing you should never do against a Trickstar deck.
Search?
Yeah, searching without getting any of your cards to safety first. Because there is Trickstar Reincarnation.
That's funny.
He sets one card. Can't be that scary, right? Asking him if he has a response to Trickstar Reincarnation, and he did not side in Cyframe Epsilon, because those are in my side deck, so he doesn't have those. Droll and Lockbird, and that's all of his cards. He looks like he sided in a Chaos Hunter, because that Chaos Hunter did get banished under there. He joked that he said +1 from Giant Rex, but Giant Rex was not one of the banished cards. Yeah, in games I tend to have against Trickstar, I tend to go +1 on either a Giant Rex that gets banished or a Extraordinary Spirit Master. So he passes back to Josh, who I think he has nothing to play for offense but Eater of Millions. Which is why I don't like the Trickstar deck. The Trickstar deck, like, it has no damage. Like, everything it does is just Eater of Millions, Scapegoat, or what do you call it? Scapegoat, Eater of Millions, or Wind Witch Icebell into Crystal Wing. Like, their monsters themselves can't really do anything. All they can do is stall out and play off these other big one-hit cards.
The yellow Trickstar is pretty big in stats. 1800 ain't that bad.
It's not that bad, but with some meta cards being so much bigger, it doesn't work out so well. Ooh, Scapegoat. So he blocks... But he takes a hit from Link Haribo, allowing him to get 4 goats, so he can use them for making Link monsters. So that's Mrs. Radiant, using 2 goats, verifying the effect of the really expensive card.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gone down in price a little bit lately since Level Eater has been forbidden.
Is that your Link Haribo or not?
It is my Link Haribo, and it was not a particularly great investment. I think I paid $32 for it. It's at $25 now.
You did? Nice.
Yeah, I did not order the magazine, which I should have. I've never ordered from the magazine from Shonen before, so I didn't want to do it. So I don't know. Next time I'm probably going to do it when a card is being announced. So he attacks with Link Spider, and he reduces the damage to 0. Attacks directly for 19 with Mrs. Radiant, and 15 with Link Spider. So, top decking Instant Fusion was a decent top deck before. It gave him some way to play defense, but aren't that many top decks you can possibly have in this scenario. So he's going to scoop it up.
He scoops, nice.
Yeah, well, he did a decent amount considering he only had one card to play, but he definitely messed up. Siding is complete. Just doing a little bit of shuffling. Since
it's
Jordan
muted for you. It's not muted for me.
Is what for what?
The audio and the live thing. It's fine though, right? As long as the recording comes to your screen, either way, it don't matter.
Yeah. My side's recording. It's not a problem. I just I forgot that I didn't erase the audio here, so I just had to mute it. Yeah, it's just recording your audio and my audio. Anything that I hear and anything that I say, it'll capture.
Oh, okay.
It catches two different recordings. So.
At least I could hear the extra commentary, while in game.
You have it on?
I like that.
All right, it might be a little loud. You might want to lower it. But that's fine. So 1 for 1.
1 for 1. All right.
Discarding...
I'm guessing this is the Decatron to play, right?
Well, yeah, you would get a free Decatron.
Is that Giant Rex that he discarded?
Yes, and he ashes again, and of course runs right into that Grasslick Screener.
Grass, disgusting.
But at the same time, if he didn't negate it, Decatron would have just become Deviati. He would have been up an additional Infernoid in the graveyard, and he would have resolved it anyway. So it wasn't like a bad play, but sometimes you just can't stop it. Now, I don't think he milled quite as broken as he did in the previous game, but he's still got a decent setup.
Can't really see what he milled there. But,
yeah, quite a few spells, some Infernoids. He definitely has enough to summon a big guy. I do know during the tournament he had a game where he soul charged into 3 Decatrons that got milled. It was like the most amazing grass ever. He got the search. Crazy. He got the search pill and soul charge into 3 negates on Decatrons and summon 2 big Infernoids first also. So.
That's insane.
So he's summoning a Nunku in defense. Banishing another Nunku. Along with, I think it was a Petrula and Sajet. Monster Reborn for Decatron, and then Decatron can become Deviati. Monster Reborn has been an interesting card so far. At some point in the tournament, he actually played Monster Reborn to revive a fusion-summoned Infernoid Tiara, the 3400 fusion monster.
Yeah, he told me about that.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. He actually had
a game off that?
He did, but he made some plays with Thousand Eyes Restrict and Eater of Millions. So he made Thousand Eyes Restrict, stole a monster, and then used Eater of Millions to remove the extra deck monster from the field, so he can play Imagination. Fused into Tiara. Used Elder Entity Natest to destroy his Tiara and some of his opponent's cards. And then he summoned 2 big Infernoids and then played Monster Reborn on Tiara, because he had to use Banishment that turn, so he could only summon Infernoids, and you can't really Monster Reborn much. So he negated Light Stage, and then Mind Control was played to take control of the Decatron that can negate monster effects.
Okay.
So at this point, he is searching for a card, so he'll get Light Stage, and Light Stage will search Lycoris. And he will attack for 2,000, because he gains 200 additional damage will be done for the field spell, and 18 for...
And I guess he chains off the pink one?
Yeah, he activates Lycoris to return Candina to his hand, so he has something to do on his next turn.
Yeah.
I find Candina to be an incredibly annoying card.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying how many searches that gets.
So he goes to Link summon...
Oh, Link, nice.
Yeah, that is Ib, the World Chalice Priestess. Just a way to get rid of the Decatron so he doesn't get it back. Although that does clear Jordan's level count for playing additional Infernoids. So that may have been a bad move.
Degatron OP, man.
Degatron is OP. So
Fossil Dig?
Yeah, Fossil Dig, adding Soul Devouring Oviraptor to hand.
Oviraptor, nice.
Yeah, you only add Giant Rex if you already have the double evolution pill. Because in that case, you want to be able to banish it and get it to summon itself for free.
Yeah.
And
how many automated conductors did he play?
2. Droll and Lockbird is activated in response to Fossil Dig, so he cannot get Pill to his hand this turn. Extending how stally Trickstars can be sometimes.
Yeah, that's how the deck works.
Yeah, they're not really progressing their game. They're mostly just keeping you in like a state of like, what am I gonna do? Can't do anything.
Yeah, it's just pure stall.
Yeah. While you take a little bit of burn damage here and there, and while they draw into things like Scapegoat to like actually make monsters.
Yeah, to make some offense. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that his field is clear, he could special summon a Nuku, destroy all monsters on the field, get rid of Ib. Ib isn't currently linked, so it would be destroyed. Oh, but he summons Deviati, which means he can destroy the field spell.
Okay. Then I guess he attacks Ib.
Yeah, attacks Ib, deals 1100. And I think he passes, since he has a pretty broken card in his hand for the follow-up turn.
What card was it? Was it Oviraptor?
Yeah, he has Oviraptor.
That's the broken card? I thought you were talking about something like OP.
Oh, so he activates...
I thought you meant like he had another like grass in hand.
You can't really do 2 grasses. So Candine is activated and negated by Deviati.
Alright, yeah.
Oviraptor is activated to send Ash, and I'm sure you're actually listening to the audio for the video, so I'm sure you're hearing them ask about a ridiculous question that was illogical and didn't make any sense.
What was it? Because I'm not really... I kind of turned it down.
Well, he's ashing Oviraptor's effect, whether it be to mill or to add to hand, and he asks some weird question about it. What if he picks the other effect? And, like, it doesn't really matter. Either effect would be ashable, so it doesn't matter. And,
so your brother is the one that said that?
I don't know why. I don't know. He doesn't play live a lot, but it does seem odd. Also, it says negate effect that includes an effect that does this. So even if regardless of which one he picked, even if it was one that wasn't affected by Ash, because it includes that effect at that time, it would still work. Now he's banishing 5 cards from his extra deck.
So he plays the Eater Millions? Yeah,
the original concept of the deck was to include Where Art Thou, which is a spell card that searches level 1 monsters.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you would just summon Eater, and then you would search for Decatron, normal Decatron, and then perhaps play Grass or Void Imagination in a safe way. But I think he pulled Where Art Thou for this particular tournament. He made a lot of changes to the deck list from the last one he sent me before he went. Like, Fairy Tale Snow wasn't actually on the deck list I had seen, but it was definitely in there when he played. He had added Left Arm Offering, but it wasn't on the deck list that he had given me before the tournament. So it looks like Eater of Millions is coming down from Josh as well.
For the Trickstar player, he's also banishing cards from his extra deck.
Yeah, that or he's deciding between 5 extra deck monsters to summon, but yeah. And then there's some questions about what happens when Eater of Millions battles
What happens when they attack each other?
Well, what'll happen is they'll both trigger at the start of the damage step. Turn players will trigger first, and then the other players will trigger second. And they'll both be banished, and it won't really matter what order they get banished in. But that is what would happen.
Alright.
Alright, so he's probably gonna banish Oviraptor, and that way he can make the decision to...
That'd be the better play to do, right?
Well, it doesn't really matter which one gets banished, but you don't really want your Oviraptor to get banished, because, your Eater of Millions, because it's still playing defense for you. But he can always just give up his to play his. Ooh, he hard summons Ultimate Conductor Tyranno by banishing Overtext from the graveyard. I think he misinterpreted something he said. He was summoning Giant Rex, and he flipped Eater down by accident, so he fixed that.
So I'm guessing that's game 35 and whatever Eater of Millions does.
Well, Eater of Millions is actually playing decent defense here. He can attack with Giant Rex, which would just banish the Giant Rex, and then he can attack directly with Conductor after crashing with Eater, or he can attack with Conductor and then attack with Eater. There's a couple options. I think he's going to elect to pop his own Giant Rex since it can't attack directly anyway.
Yeah.
And then he can banish Eater of Millions with Eater of Millions and attack directly for 35. The other option is banish, attack with Giant Rex, leave Eater face up, attack directly with Ultimate Conductor to inflict 25, and then directly with Eater of Millions for 1,000. That way accomplishes the exact same thing. Actually, the difference is the Eater of Millions would have gained 100 attack and did 100 more. He would have taken 3,600 instead of 3,500. He draws and he can't out the board, so he has to scoop.
Alright.
Yeah, nice. That's going to wrap that up. So, yeah, next video is actually going to be my third round match of the Yugi No No tournament, which is my crazy Red Dragon Archfiend Shiranui Psyframes against Paleozoic in a really exciting match. I'll see you guys next time.